what if the QVC hosts you've watched for years were actually the most disliked hosts on television? They smile, they laugh, and they act like your best friend. But behind the charm are some of the most annoying host viewers have ever seen. The ones who talk too much, interrupt guests, and make every show about themselves. For years, QVC felt like home, a cozy escape filled with friendly faces and irresistible deals. But lately, that comfort has cracked. Fans are speaking out, flooding forums and social media with brutal complaints. They're tired of fake enthusiasm, endless chatter, and personalities that feel more like performances than real people. The network built its empire on trust, but that trust is fading fast. Today, we're exposing the most disliked and annoying QVC hosts, and uncovering why, despite all the backlash, people still can't stop watching. Let's start with one of the most polarizing names on QVC, Shawn Killinger. You can't talk about QVC without mentioning her. She's bold, she's witty, and she's unpredictable. Some adore her energy, others can't stand it. Shawn often jokes mid-presentation, tells personal stories, or goes off on tangents that have nothing to do with the item in front of her. For her fans, that makes her feel real, like a girlfriend chatting across the table. For her critics, it makes her unbearable. They complain that she interrupts guests, talks over them, and draws attention away from the product. They say she turns every show into the Shawn Show. One frustrated viewer described her as a walking distraction. Another wrote that they mute the TV when she's on because she never stops talking, long enough to let the expert finish our sentence. Shawn's biggest strength is also her weakness. She's spontaneous. But spontaneity on live television can quickly turn awkward. There was the infamous moment when she argued with designer Isaac Mizrahi about whether the moon was a planet. The debate went on for over a minute, with both confidently insisting they were right. It became a viral meme, half funny, half painful to watch. For QVC, it was great publicity. For Shawn's critics, it confirmed everything they already believed, that she's too focused on herself to stay professional. Viewers also point to her habit of oversharing. She talks openly about her life, her thoughts, even bodily mishaps, the kind of details that make some people laugh but make others cringe. During one segment, she repeated an awkward story about a fellow traveler's bathroom accident on a plane, retelling it multiple times. The chat boards lit up. People called it gross, unnecessary, and typical Shawn. Add to that her constant nose wiping on air. Yes, viewers notice everything, and you have one of QVC's most polarizing figures. Yet, here's the thing. QVC keeps her front and center. Why? Because polarizing works. Shawn generates conversation. People love her or love to complain about her. But either way, they're watching. Her shows get comments, clicks, and engagement. And that engagement often translates into sales. But Shawn isn't the only one sparking frustration among longtime viewers. Then there's Jane Treacy, one of QVC's longest-running hosts. She's been part of the network for over 3 decades, with a career that started in the earliest days of televised shopping. Jane built her reputation on warmth and storytelling. She talks about her family constantly, her daughters, her husband, her life experiences, all wrapped around the products she's presenting. For years, that made her beloved. But over time, the repetition has worn thin. Many viewers now say Jane's constant talk about her kids feels like bragging. Others say she interrupts her guests and turns every segment into a monologue. The chatter grew so loud that when QVC laid off several popular hosts last year, some fans commented online that Jane should have been the one to go. That criticism reached her, and she decided to respond live on air. During a show, she looked directly into the camera and warned viewers not to mention her children. Her tone was sharp, almost scolding. "If you say something about our kids, don't even show up," she said. "Nothing about my kids, okay?" It was a bold moment, but it backfired. Many fans found it unprofessional, even condescending. They felt she'd forgotten who her audience was. Comments poured in afterward. Some called her arrogant. Others said they were done watching her altogether. But like Shawn, Jane has her defenders. They see her as genuine, emotional, and loyal to her family. She's a symbol of QVC's old guard, the type of host who feels like an old friend. That familiarity is exactly why people react so strongly. When they love her, they really love her. When they don't, they really don't. And if you think those two divide audiences, wait until you hear about the man who practically shouts through the screen. And then we come to Rick Domeier, the man who seems permanently powered by caffeine. Rick has been with QVC for nearly 30 years and is known for one thing: high-energy selling. He talks fast, he laughs loud, and he fills every second with enthusiasm. For some, that makes him entertaining. For others, it's exhausting. One viewer wrote, "He makes me feel like I'm trapped in a car dealership." Another joked, "Rick sounds like he's had 6 energy drinks before going on air." The complaints are consistent. He interrupts guests. He dominates conversations, and he seems to yell rather than speak. But QVC loves Rick. His intensity creates urgency. That sense of buy it now before it's gone is what drives impulse purchases. Even if viewers complain, many still end up ordering. Some even admit they can't stand his delivery. But they still listen because his excitement makes them curious about the product. Love him or hate him, Rick knows how to sell. Of course, the list doesn't end there. Several other QVC personalities are stirring debate for different reasons. Kirsten Lindquist is often described as too perfect. Her health-conscious, upbeat personality comes across to some as smug. Viewers say she acts disinterested in certain products, especially anything that doesn't fit her wellness brand. On forums, people comment that she seems above it all, as if she'd rather be somewhere else. Jennifer Coffey, on the other hand, gets called out for seeming overly polished. She's active on social media and has a strong influencer vibe, but some find her tone arrogant and disconnected. They accuse her of caring more about her image than about connecting with shoppers. Even QVC's most beloved names aren't immune. Mary Beth Rowe, long known for her sweet and grandmotherly demeanor, has been accused of using high-pressure tactics. Some viewers say her charm feels forced, her salesmanship too rehearsed. And then there's David Venable, the happy dance king of QVC. He's arguably the network's biggest star. His food shows are legendary, his catchphrase is iconic, but even David has his critics. Some say his reactions are fake, that his exaggerated excitement for every dish feels insincere. Others say he interrupts his chefs and hogs the camera. Still, David remains QVC royalty, showing that even a little irritation doesn't hurt when the audience adores you overall. So what exactly makes these hosts so irritating to watch? The reasons repeat across every discussion board. First, they talk too much. Viewers say they interrupt guests, finish other people's sentences, or go off topic so often that it's hard to follow the actual product demonstration. Second, they oversell. Many QVC watchers hate aggressive sales tactics. When hosts repeatedly remind viewers of how limited an item is or act like every product is life-changing, it feels manipulative. Third, they act fake. Viewers can tell when enthusiasm is genuine and when it's rehearsed. Constant excitement over every single item eventually loses credibility. Then there's the issue of personality. Some hosts come across as too self-focused. They share endless personal stories, talk about their kids, their vacations, or their health journeys until the show feels more like a diary entry than a product presentation. Others seem overly confident, even arrogant, as if they think they're celebrities rather than salespeople. Small habits can become major irritants too. Repetitive phrases, forced laughter, or particular vocal tones. One host saying, "I love that," 100 times in an hour can be enough to drive viewers crazy. Yet, despite all these complaints, something fascinating happens. People don't stop watching. They might rant, they might roll their eyes, but they still tune in. Why? Because these hosts have become part of their daily rhythm. They're familiar faces in an unpredictable world. Viewers know what to expect, even if that expectation includes a little irritation. And QVC knows it too. They understand that passionate reactions, even negative ones, keep people engaged. In fact, some of the network's biggest personalities are its most controversial. Shawn Killinger has been mocked online for years, but she remains one of QVC's top sellers. Jane Treacy trends on social media every time she says something bold, and Rick Domeier's energy is practically a brand in itself. These hosts may annoy, but they also entertain. They fill the silence. They spark conversation. And conversation keeps QVC alive in an age when most people shop with a single click. It's easy to forget that QVC is live television. Mistakes happen. Words slip. Personalities clash. The very traits that some find unbearable, the chatter, the laughter, the constant motion, are what make QVC feel human in an increasingly digital shopping world. When a host stumbles or laughs at their own joke, it reminds viewers there's a real person on the other side of the screen. That human touch is powerful even when it's flawed. Still, the line between real and annoying is razor thin. Too much energy becomes chaos. Too much sharing becomes oversharing. Too much confidence becomes arrogance. And when that line is crossed, the viewers let them know. QVC fans are passionate. They'll defend the hosts they love and tear apart the ones they don't. They write paragraphs on Facebook, Reddit, and blogs analyzing every slip of the tongue or awkward exchange. It's part of the fun and part of the ecosystem that keeps the network relevant. Being a QVC host means walking a tightrope between charisma and restraint. You're selling, but you have to make it look like storytelling. You're performing, but it has to feel genuine. You're friendly, but not too familiar. Few can balance all that perfectly for years. So yes, hosts will annoy people. They'll talk too long, laugh too loud, or turn a simple presentation into a full-blown monologue. But those imperfections also make them memorable. In the end, that's the paradox of QVC. The hosts who annoy you are often the same ones who keep you watching. Their quirks, their habits, their personalities, even when they grate on your nerves, are what make the network feel alive. You might roll your eyes when Shawn cracks another off-topic joke, but you'll stay to see what she says next. You might sigh when Jane mentions her daughters again, but you'll listen anyway because she's part of your routine. And when Rick bursts onto the screen with that high-octane energy, you might groan, but you'll probably stick around long enough to see what he's selling. That's the genius of QVC. It isn't just about the products, it's about the people. The hosts are the brand. They're the reason viewers tune in day after day, even when they complain, because deep down, annoyance still means you care enough to watch. Love them or hate them, these hosts have mastered the art of being unforgettable. And in television, that's what truly matters. So the next time you find yourself muttering under your breath about an over-talkative host or a fake laugh that just won't end, remember this: QVC isn't trying to be perfect. It's trying to be familiar. And familiarity, even when it's frustrating, keeps people coming back. That's why Shawn, Jane, Rick, and the rest of the QVC crew remain exactly where they are, on your screen, in your living room, and maybe just a little under your skin.